Welcome back to The Problem With, where I sit down, come up with a very nitpicky thing, and talk about it for about 15 to 20 minutes. And we get to discuss the problems within the comic book industry, but in a fun, jokey, enjoyable light. Today we're going to be talking about Miles' new powers and why this is a problem that I don't have an answer for. Also, before you ask, yes, this is a One Piece hoodie. I wore it today on my manga review for One Piece, and you should go check out Comicstorian, where we talk about One Piece. And no, you can't buy it yourself. It's from a company called Dimmak, D-I-M-M-A-K, and it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. If they have any left over, it's on the website. Good luck. So today I want to talk about Miles' brand new powers. I bet like half of you here are like, wait, what? There is a new power set, so let's go over Miles real quick. Miles is from the Ultimate Universe. The Ultimate Universe was a creation by Brian Michael Bendis, which was supposed to be an unconvoluted, unconfusing way to tell the Marvel Universe. In that universe, we had Peter Parker for the Ultimate Spider-Man, and it was about 100 issues to about 150, somewhere in there. Peter Parker eventually died. In the middle of that, there was a spider that was brought in by the Prowler, or not by the Prowler, depending on which retcon you're looking at. And basically, there was a kid named Miles Morales who got the Spider-Man powers. He eventually got the approval of Mary Jane and Aunt May to be Spider-Man and became the new Spider-Man of the Ultimate Universe. He had generally the same powers as Peter Parker. He had the webbing, he had the strength, he had the spider sense, all of that. But they gave him 2 additional powers to make him stand out from just being another Peter Parker clone. They gave him the Venom Blast, which many of you know, which is like an electrical charge that he can then shoot off and disable foes. And they gave him the ability to go invisible, like a camouflage type situation. And his webbing is through the web shooters, which in the comic book history was originally given to him by May Parker. In the Ultimate Universe, she let him like inherit Peter Parker's web shooters, but eventually he was given web shooters by S.H.I.E.L.D. I honestly don't know where he gets the web shooters from in the current continuity, because in the current continuity, his world got slammed with Peter Parker's, which is where we're going to get to. But basically, he was the Spider-Man of that universe. Eventually, Peter Parker came back. We discovered that he had become an immortal Highlander, and he was challenging Miles Morales to be the one and only Highlander at the top of the mountain with lightning in the background. That didn't happen, but Peter Parker did come back. He is immortal now, and he drove off into the sunset. Much less epic than a Highlander duel, right? Anyway, eventually in 2015, Secret Wars happened, and we smashed the Ultimate Universe with the 616 universe to create like a battle world where everyone had to fight. In Battle World, Peter Parker and Miles Morales got to team up, and they eventually went and saw Molecule Man, where Miles Morales did Dan's one and single favorite panel in the entire history of all comic books, pulled a cheeseburger out of his pocket from 3 weeks prior and gave it to Molecule Man. Why Dan loves that one scene, I have zero idea, but I feel like he's got a cheeseburger in his pocket and he's waiting for me to ask him for it. That's what I think it's going on. But anyway, because he gave this gift to Molecule Man remade the 616. But in the 616, he moved Miles, his dad, and his mom into this universe. Since then, Miles has been doing things with Peter Parker and been there. Now, I said in my other problem with the biggest issue with Miles and Peter being in the same universe is that they're literally 5 minutes apart from each other. I went into it there, but everyone loved to harp on that one moment. The biggest issue is that they're the exact same superhero. Miles isn't able to get his own villains. He isn't able to get his own supporting cast because whenever he gets his own supporting cast, the book gets restarted. So they then bring in other supporting cast to interact with Miles, like when he dealt with Tony Stark for a good while, or he dealt with old people like from his own timeline, like Prowler, or his own clone, which wasn't a clone because it was the 616 universe version of Miles Morales, which was an evil guy. Then he dealt with his own clones, which were just goopy and weird and not like Ben Reilly at all. I mean, Miles' girlfriend right now is the daughter of the Vulture. He doesn't really get to have his own cast. The latest 2 comics had him fighting against Carnage and a Hobgoblin. It just goes down to what I was saying. He's too close to Peter Parker. He's able to fight all of Peter Parker's villains while Peter Parker is fighting his own villains because they're next to each other. But it doesn't make any sense that he wouldn't call for help from Peter Parker. Recently, his spider sense went on the fritz and he was freaking out like crazy. And you know who he didn't contact during that period? Peter Parker, the one person who would probably know how to fix it and is like 9 streets down. I know, every time I say how close they are, New York gets smaller. I'm aware. But anyway, you get the point I'm trying to make. Do you make that last one even more confusing? While Miles' powers are on the fritz? Peter Parker had a story where his powers are on the fritz. I'm not joking. Peter Parker's spider sense was heightened, and Miles' spider sense was heightened, and they did not call each other. Now, I get it, 2 different writers are writing these stories and probably didn't even communicate, but it just doesn't make sense. Hey, Miles, you feeling anything weird? Yeah, Peter, my spider sense is really out of whack right now. Dude, so is mine. By the way, I got this new sidekick. His name is Spider Boy. His name is Bailey, and he knows who you are. Do you know who he is? No, Peter, I have no idea who Bailey is. Why do we have another spider person? I don't know, dude. You know what'd be cool? If Nightcrawler became a Spider-Man during the Fall of X. Oh yeah, Peter, because we need more spider people right now. All of that's real. I made jokes of it all, but all of that's actually happening. So how do you make Miles stand out from Peter Parker, Spider-Boy Bailey, Nightcrawler Spider-Man, Ben Reilly, Kane, Spider-Woman, Spider-Woman, Spider-Woman? They really should give those 3 different names. If you're wondering, I'm thinking of Jessica Drew, Spider-Gwen, and Arachna, whatever her name is. Those are all active right now, okay? They really should give them different names, because when they go out there, they're like, hi, I'm Spider-Woman, and I'm like, oh, how many of you are there? This is like the Wolverine problem all over again. Hi, I'm Wolverine. Hi, I'm Wolverine with boobs. Hi, I'm short Wolverine. Hi, I'm Wolverine's clone. Oh, so are they. Shucks. Dakin. So anyway, how do you fix this? How do we make the spider people all be different? Well, Peter Parker's going to be Peter Parker no matter what. And right now he's turning into the Green Goblin, so that's an interesting storyline. Bailey apparently turns into a spider. I don't know the story behind that yet, but he apparently turns into a spider. Okay, Nightcrawler / Spider-Man, literally, his name is Spider-Man. You'd think it'd be like Night Spider, Nightcrawlers. I don't know. It's like Nightcrawler could work. Wait. I'm dumb. Anyway, he bams out of existence. He teleports away. Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, has turned into Chasm, and I think he's just Spider-Man with a cooler costume, but maybe he has other powers. I don't know, but the costume at least makes him stand out. And then, of course, Kane is gone again. So I guess that really doesn't matter. If you're wondering what happened to Kane, he showed up again. He was in the Dagger of Destiny. He showed up. They're like, Kane, that's where you've been. And he's like, yup. See you later. That was it. He was out. Anyway, you got to give Miles more powers. And I think Marvel and the Spider-Man editors decided Venom Blast and the ability to go invisible wasn't enough. So they gave him a lightsaber. You're probably going, oh, Benny, now you're just being stupid. I wish I was. You see, what he has the ability to do now is take his Venom Blast and form it into a weapon. And what he's done is he is able to turn that into a sword, a literal lightning sword. So a lightsaber. It's also not just like a line of lightning. It forms a hilt. Because I don't even know how that. At least I could understand the physics. I'm trying to put physics into a comic book. I could understand the physics of my hands are together and it makes a sword. Okay. How does he make the hilt? Like, how does that even work? And if the hilt's not a permanent thing, it's definitely on that one cover I looked at. So anyway, this is the problem with Miles now. The problem with Miles' new power is that Marvel is trying to use this as a way to separate Miles from every other spider person in existence. They're literally making more as we go. Nightcrawler is a spider person. Spider-crawler. Wait. No, I lost it. Okay, we're good. Anyway, moving on. Even Dan shaking his head at me like, where were you going with that? I was trying something. It doesn't work. You give him a new power. But at this point, you're running into the same problem we have whenever you give other superheroes new powers. Do you guys remember Hot Claws? So Wolverine came back from the dead, and they thought that they would make him stand out a little bit better because the guy that can resurrect from the dead has multiple clones and his name is on every team in Marvel's existence, needs a new power. They gave him Hot Claws. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, Hot Claws. It was his claws, and he could ignite them on fire. It lasted one arc, and the internet lambasted it and made fun of it. Okay? Spider-Man, at one point, had 6 arms. I know this one's from like the 80s, but he had 6 arms, and that was a new power they decided to give him. Which, by the way, even though I was a kid, even back then, I didn't believe how he was hiding them. If you don't know, apparently when you have 6 arms, you can just take the 2 lower and just wrap them like this around your body and put a shirt on, and no one will know that you have 6 arms. Cyclops became Captain Krakoa. Now, there's a story reason behind that, but Captain Krakoa allowed him to fly, which I attribute to being a brand new power, which he decided not to use after that. It's just like Miles recently also got an iron spider suit, but didn't keep it. Why did Peter not keep his? Why would they not? That makes no sense. But anyway, what happens is they get these powers, they're there for a temporary period of time, and then they vanish into space. Now, would Miles having a lightsaber make him stand out better from Peter and all of them? Actually, yeah. I think if he could keep that, it would be more appropriate than the Venom Blast. The Venom Blast is great, it works awesome, but there's no visible flare with the Venom Blast. He comes in, boom, does it, and everyone goes, "What did you do, kid?" I mean, literally, that's what he did to Carnage, and Carnage reigns, and Carnage's reaction was, "What did you do, kid?" And the invisibility is cool, but he doesn't use it often. But you know what he could do, and what he has been doing ever since he discovered this power? Draw a lightning sword. Now, how does this work for him? What does this do to make it better? I don't know, and that's why I don't know what the problem with this is right now, because overall, it's kind of a cool new power. But I guess the issue runs into, where does it end? Miles already has Venom Blast invisibility, and now he can do lightning swords. Is he going to be able to grow wings? Is he going to be able to, like, breathe underwater? How many powers do we need to give Miles so that the general audience can go, "Oh, that's a different Spider-Man"? Because as you guys told me in one of the previous Spider-Man Miles videos, Miles is the Spider-Man of a lot of kids. I don't remember the person who commented. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was along the lines of, "I get what you're saying, but my son doesn't even know who Peter Parker is. He sees Miles as his Spider-Man." And if that's the case with a lot of kids, I'm sure the Spider-Verse movies have more solidified that as being the case. That is their Spider-Man. So did we need a new power? Did we have to add more powers? Where do we go from this point? The problem with Miles' power is I don't know what to do with it. It's such a weird conundrum. It's always happening to superheroes and it always gets removed. So do we go super hard into it? Do we not do it very much? Is there going to be a weird explanation down the line? It's an interesting story arc. I will say that. If you haven't been reading it, go check it out. It's the current Miles Morales run. It's on issue 10 or 11 at this point. He's battled against Carnage. He's battled against Hobgoblin. Both times he used the sword. The sword is a brand new thing that was introduced because he was being pressured by a villain known as Rabble, who had the worst motivations known to mankind. Miles got her scholarship to a school, so she decided to become a villain and try to kill his family. I'm not joking. That's her motivation. And he made a sword to fight her. And that's where it all started. You know, maybe this is the first time we have a good problem. The problem with Miles right now is that it's unpredictable where it's going to go at the moment. Like, we know what's going to happen with Peter. Peter's got, well actually, a little, I'm going to take Bailey because Bailey and the sidekick thing are a bit weird. We don't know what's going on with that. But let's look at Amazing. In the Amazing Spider-Man run, Spider-Man is turning into the Green Goblin. We've already been told by issue 50 this is going to resolve. We've also been told that Superior Spider-Man is going to be making his return very soon. Which is another Spider-Man? Anyway, I just realized we're getting another Spider-Man next month. Jeez Louise, Marvel. Slow your roll. Can we get multiple Iron Mans? That's it. I don't really care about multiple Captain Americas, and we already have like 80 Wolverines, so. But yeah, I think this is actually a good problem that we have for once, because it's a little unpredictable. Miles has gotten a brand new power. Miles is learning how to control his brand new Spider-Sense issues. Miles has his brand new girlfriend. He's been dealing with his own villain at Rabble. He's finally getting established to be different from the rest of the Spider people, but they don't want you to forget that he's a Spider person because he fought Carnage and he fought Hobgoblin. But this could finally be a way to start fixing the Miles problem of having him in the main universe, because we're getting the Ultimate Universe back. And there was a theory that maybe Miles was going to be going back to the Ultimate Universe to kind of fix his issue. But it doesn't appear to be the case because we're getting a brand new Spider-Man over there. And I'm going to have a whole rant about Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Evasion, and what they're doing with that coming out very soon. But yeah, I think we're at a good point with this one. The problem with Miles is we finally don't know what's going to happen. And I'm excited for that because I like what's going on in the Miles comic book right now. He's dealing with mental distress. He's dealing with his powers on the fritz, and he's dealing with brand new powers. And it's going to be fun. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I know it's a bit of a shorter problem but this time I don't know how to answer the issue. But I'm excited. I'm excited for what's going to happen with Miles, and I hope you are as well. Let me know what you think about his powers down below. Let me know what you think about what's going on in the world of comic books. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I will see you next time right here.